Hey guys, it's the end of week 13, which means it's time for another update. This week has been a bit of a slow one, but I think it's almost time to start pushing deep into gold and possibly super gold. Let's talk about progress and the plan for November. Unsurprisingly, all of the goals this week are getting crossed off the list. They were simple and straightforward, so there was no worries about getting them done. I went through my past stuff, took the goals, and turned them into exercises that I can now use to keep my play sharp. The main things that I want to talk about are my experiences with actually doing the exercises as well as the Neon V analysis. When it came to refreshing myself on my previous skills, I was kind of surprised at how much I had regressed. I thought I was doing okay based off the tournament and my online matches, but when I sat down and tried to do these things in isolation, like my BNBs 10 times in a row on each side or the Parabella meaty drills, I was messing up quite a bit. Some of the skills, like the optimal stun combo or the standing heavy punch buffer, just completely disappeared, and I'm gonna need to relearn them. It's a bit disappointing that I'm gonna need to do even more review, but I mean, it is what it is, right? If I'm not ready to move on, then I'm not ready to move on. I've only really been back for about 2 weeks if you exclude the first week where I was trying Tekken out, and even then I had to move back in and whatnot, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that I'm as far behind as I am. So that's the current state of things. Now let's talk the plan for November and week 14. As it stands, I'm currently thinking that November is going to be split in half, with the coming 2 weeks being spent on review and then the following 2 weeks being spent on making sure I'm 1-to-1 with the Getting Good series up to Super Gold. I think hitting Plat by the end of the year would be a bit of a stretch, but I would love to hit that mark, so I'm going to give it a serious shot and see what happens. Okay, that's the big picture stuff. Now let's talk this week. Combo execution is the first big priority, with an emphasis on the counter hit combos from meaties and frame traps. I'm also going to lump the stun combo in here as well, just to get that out of the way. Anti-airs are going to be number 2, with an emphasis on getting the air throws off. I've gotten blown up by cross-ups a couple times, so I want to nip that ASAP, and plus it's just a lot better to use that as an option versus the crouching heavy punch in general. Next week, I'll tackle meaties and the standing heavy punch buffer, since those two are so closely linked. And then finally, for that week, I'll also review hit confirms. I think I'm doing fine there, but I just want to be safe. Before my hitbox issues, I was doing matchup notes on the side, but for these 2 weeks, I'm going to replace that with pro player analysis. When I watched Neon V matches this week, I came to the conclusion that I'm doing a decent enough job with my normal attacks, but I have a ton of room to optimize things that I've already touched on in the past. For example, in one of my first updates, when I first started the series, I discovered that standing heavy kick whiffs on crouching opponents, which made my jump-in combo extremely unreliable. At the time, I stated that I couldn't find a replacement, so I replaced that combo with a jumping heavy kick, linked into crouching medium punch into the V-skill combo, and then I just moved on to new topics. After watching Neon, I've learned that if I replace that crouching medium punch with a standing heavy punch, I can gain 18 more damage and 45 more stun. That's a huge gain for such a small change in execution, so I want to see what other adjustments I can make while revisiting these topics. I'll add whatever I pick up to my notes, and then I'll post that up at the end of next week once the review is finished. And that's pretty much everything I have to talk about this week. Actually, I guess I should make a small note about the tournaments. They're actually scheduled every 2 weeks, not weekly. So on my next update, I'll put some more tournament footage up for the highlights. Yeah, so see you guys next time.